Two guys not related, yet somehow are given the same name. It's time for the Two Daves podcast, where we'll answer the age-old question, are two Daves better than one? And now, here's Dave and Dave.
That's right. This is the Two Daves podcast. Welcome to the Two Daves Nation, and we are ready for another episode. I'm Dave.
I'm Dave, and this ain't tacos. Hey, listen, please don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends and your enemies if you like. We're building the Two Daves Nation, and we invite you to be a part of the journey. Hey, listen, we have another great episode for you tonight. Or wait, Dave, was that for next
either
week?
Today or morning. I don't know what it doesn't matter. You're good.
Was it for next week though? Is that when we're gonna?
Oh yeah, maybe the great episodes next week. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh well, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, a big part of our show today is going to be dealing with chasing your dreams.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped up for this show, Dave, because we are actually having a young professional golfer on the PGA Tour with us for a discussion about that. Mm-hmm. But before we get to that, Dave, I thought it would be fun to talk about maybe another kind of dream, and that would be bucket list dreams.
Yes.
So I want to share some bucket list ideas. I want you and I to do this for people who are searching to maybe add something to that bucket list. And then I want, we'll share some of our wonderful bucket lists as well. So Dave, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
First of all, let me just clarify what a bucket list is. The term bucket list was first coined back in 2007 by the screenwriter of the movie The Bucket List with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. Did you ever see that movie?
I did, yes.
Very good movie.
Yeah, it
was. The idea was that it's a list of things that you want to do before you kick the bucket. So, in other words, experiences, achievements that you hope to achieve sometime during your lifetime. Yeah. So here's a list of things that you may need to add to your bucket list. Why don't you go first?
Okay. Well, okay, I will. That was good info. Thank you for that. Yeah. Okay. So Dave, I was thinking for those that are retired.
Yeah.
How about a bucket list item would be hold your own funeral and invite your friends and family to attend and encourage them to bring money instead of flowers. And don't forget to take your photo with the deceased. I think that would be kind of fun, huh?
Or predeceased.
Predeceased. Yeah, predeceased.
Yeah. I like that idea.
That's not bad.
I like it. We always save the nice things to say, for people after they're gone. Why not have a funeral before we die?
Hey, lay in the coffin with the guy that's predeceased. I mean, what a better selfie is that, huh?
Oh, wow. Well, hey, I got one for a shy person. Anybody who's shy out there, you should try this. Crash a total stranger's wedding and then stand up and object at the ceremony. I like that. I love that one.
That's a good one. We've done a ton of weddings, and I've never had even the how can I say it? I've never had the guts to even put that in the wedding ceremony.
Really? Now,
yeah.
I include it, but I don't pause afterwards. I just go right on to the next part.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, go ahead. I think you have another one.
Yeah. How about for the practical joker, which actually I think that the last one was for a practical joker too. But I like this one. Hire two private detectives and get them to follow each other.
That is a good one, man. That is good. Okay, I'll go the next one. How about for the overly curious person?
Overly curiosity.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, here's my idea. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go into the ocean and get bit by a shark, but don't die. Just have a cool scar to show everyone the rest of your life.
Well, okay. That's
these are winners, I think.
That winners, yeah. I just hope that you have to get timed just right, to
But
get
you
the
might
cool
have to,
dying.
you might have to go to the ocean a lot, huh?
Yeah, you might have to go. Your cool scar might involve no arm, but hey.
Oh man.
All right, I got one more. How about for the stupid person?
Oh man.
You ready for this?
Okay. I'm ready.
Go hug a full-size grizzly bear, okay? Because they look so soft and cuddly, don't they?
Oh yeah.
So go hug a full-size grizzly bear, but my advice would be to make sure that that's the last item on your bucket list, because that really might be the last thing you do before you kick the bucket.
Just give him the bucket. Put yourself in the bucket already, man. You're done.
Yeah.
Put some honey on yourself. Let him lick you for a while, and then you're done for.
Right.
Oh.
Have you seen The Revenant? Oh, well.
I have not.
If you've seen The Revenant, you probably will not want to do this one. So
is that with Leonardo
DiCaprio?
Oh, totally wrong person then. Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
he has an encounter with a bear, and it's very hard to watch. Yeah.
Okay, I'll pass on that one. I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. Okay, so let's talk about your bucket list, Dave. Maybe is there one or two things that you hope to accomplish in your life before you kick that bucket?
Actually, I'm glad you asked that question. I literally have a list of things that I have written down, of things that I want to accomplish, and you asked me to share two things. So
whatever you want to share.
One of the things that I want to do is I want to go visit the Museum of Academy of Motion Pictures, which was supposed to open last year. But because of COVID, it now is set to open September the 21st of this year. I really want my wife and I to go back to LA, Hollywood, and visit that. That's a bucket list dream of mine. So one of these days.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And this may sound, I don't know, stupid to people who have done it, but my wife and I would just like to take a cruise. We've always wanted to do that, and so there's all kinds of cruises available, whether it's through Carnival or whatever, or possibly Turner Classic Movies, which is my favorite channel on TV. They have an annual cruise, a classic movies cruise, which I'd love to do. The Gaithers have a cruise that we'd like to do. So there's just all different kinds of options, but we would love to take a cruise. I would love to eat the food on a cruise ship.
Oh yeah.
Hey, boy.
I heard about Disney has cruises,
Yeah.
Disney has one cruise that I think it's $100 to go on.
$100.
Mm-hmm. It's called the Jungle Cruise. I don't know if you've been on that yet, but never mind. That's a ride at Magic Kingdom in Disneyland. So, oh well, never mind. Okay. Hey, do you have any more to share?
No, just that this moment of silence was brought to you by an awkward moment.
Hey, for me, mine are, it's kind of funny. Bucket lists are very much wrapped around the person's likes, right? I mean,
Sure.
Really, you might say that your bucket lists sound stupid, but to you, this is something that you really like doing. So this is kind of cool.
And who cares? Things.
Yeah, no, I know. So for me, I want to attend the Masters golf tournament in Augusta, Georgia with my boys. That would be fun.
That's dumb.
Yeah. There's a lottery for that where you put your name in and they might.
Really?
Yeah, then you could take a couple people. I've done that for the past 12 years and nothing. So it's going to take a miracle for that to happen. But man, and then the other thing is, because I've been a chaplain up at the Iowa Capitol for the last 6 years, I'd love to give the opening prayer for the Senate or the House in Washington. And I would not end it with amen and a woman. I can promise you that. So
how would you end it?
In Jesus' name.
Woo!
There we go.
Well,
okay.
that opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, Anyway, I think it's time to dig into our discussion about chasing dreams. It's been said that going after a dream has a price. Going after a dream has a price. Now, what that price is depends, I guess, on what the dream is. It could be a monetary price. It could be a physical price. I mean, if you're wanting to get bit by a shark to get a cool scar, there could be a big price involved, with that.
That's
so
for sure.
Yeah. The question is, are you willing to take the risk?
I think this is going to be a great conversation tonight, Dave. Let me bring on our guest, and I'll formally introduce him.
Okay.
And he's getting ready to come on. Hey, Linus.
Good evening.
How are you? Let me introduce you properly, okay?
Yes, sir.
At age 26, I believe, Linus Lilliedahl is both living a dream and chasing after it at the same time. Born in Sweden, am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Came to America, played golf at the, what's that?
Is that in Minnesota?
What?
Yeah, northeast Minnesota.
Yeah.
Anyway, he came to America, played golf at the University of Missouri, where he was named Academic All-American in 2016, along with other golf accomplishments. Linus qualified for the Latino America PGA Tour in 2020, appearing in 6 tournaments, making 3 cuts, and posting 1 top 10 finish while ending up 60th on the points list. Not bad for a year where COVID basically destroyed tournament play. Linus was introduced to me while I was on vacation down in Florida by my 2 boys, and I was able to play golf. Well, actually, I hit the ball, and I watched Linus play golf, and it was so fun. And I consider Linus now one of my new friends. He's incredibly kind and considerate, a competitor, a gentleman on and off the course. So let's welcome to the 2 Days podcast, professional golfer and dog trainer for my grand dog, Milo, Linus Lilliedahl. Welcome, Linus.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Let me give you the proper greeting, I think. Is it Välkommen?
Välkommen. Yes. Yes. Welcome.
Hey, that's the only word I know. So anyway, so glad you could come on our podcast. It is a pleasure having you here, and just fun to talk with you. If I'm not mistaken, you're coming off your best showing of the 2020 tour with a 4th round posting of 6 under par. That's the 65 at the Puerto Plata Open. Am I correct in that?
Yes, you're correct. And just to add a little bit of info to all of that. So on the 2020 PGA Tour Latin America season, we've actually only played 3 events thus far.
Wow.
And it's going to extend into 2021. And we're hoping to play at least 8 tournaments to make it a full season, as they call it. So it's a rolling season. It hasn't ended yet. I've played three out of 3 events thus far.
So, you think about that, 2020 is just a rolling event as well, because we're to 2021, it seems the same. But anyway, I did want to welcome you to my friend Dave. Dave?
Yes. Linus, I'm the other Dave.
Yeah. Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good.
If you can maybe give us some insight about what or who influenced you to go after the dream of becoming a professional golfer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it was a career I grew into. My mom and dad were both golf instructors, so I guess I never really had a choice. I had to play golf, but I've always played golf, right? And I guess it became very clear very early in my life that golf was going to be my career, competitive golf. And my parents have always supported the idea of me playing golf. Heck, they even called me their retirement plans, or they called me their retirement plan ever since I was 14 years old. And I quickly fell in love with the process of constantly improving as a golfer. So here we are today, professional golfer.
All right.
Well,
How old are you?
Go ahead, Dave.
How old are you now, Linus?
I'm 26 today.
26. Okay. Today?
No, I'll be
All right.
27. I'll be 27 February 15th, but I'm
Okay. All
okay
right.
with being 26 for now.
I got you there, man. That's good. You know, it's a fun thing to watch a good golfer, Dave. I'm a duffer, and but to watch Linus play is incredible. And I don't know how serious he was taking it the day we were playing, but this man knows how to hit a ball, putt. I mean, everything. So I enjoyed it, Linus. It was a fun ride that day.
Yeah, we'll play more soon.
I'm ready for that, man. I'm ready. You know, it's kind of funny. You said this is really what I was molded into. Mom and dad's a golf instructor, and it probably wouldn't have been a good thing for you to say, Mom and Dad, I think I want to be a professional cook. They'd have probably thrown the cookbook at you and said, no, that's not going to happen, right? No, I'm sure you have very supportive parents.
Yeah, they've always been there for me financially, emotionally, you name it.
Yeah, that's good. So did I hear you say at age 14 is when you started playing golf? Is that correct?
No, I've always kind of played golf. I guess it became clear at 13 or 14 years old that this is what I was going to do for a living.
Okay, I get that. So you say probably at what age would you say, you know what, this is what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a professional golfer no matter what. Would it have been that age, 13, 14?
Yeah, 13, 14 years old, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he just said, Dave.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking at 13 and 14-year-old now, for me, I'm thinking, I'm hoping to maybe get through this bag of candy I got this week. You know, that was my big goal as a 13, 14-year-old. But
I can tell.
I did well too on that. But I think, was there any pressure, as a 13, 14-year-old telling yourself that? Because, there's a long journey there, and I'm sure you didn't know what you were getting into completely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played other sports too. I was big on ice hockey. I played ice hockey up until 15 years of age. But no, never any pressure. I've always been drawn to golf. It's always been what I wanted to do. It was just right at that 13, 14 years of age, where I start to, go away from other sports to solely focus on golf. And I kept hockey up a little bit for another year from that point. But it was golf from 13, 14 years of age and on. And before that, I guess it takes a while for maturity to come in and my mind to, grow. And so, but before 13 years of age, it was just playing around, having as much fun as possible, which, I'm still trying to have fun, but
Sure.
yeah, but no, right there, 13 or 14 year old mark was probably when it got really serious.
So why don't you tell us some of your golf heroes, maybe as a kid, and your golf heroes today? Are they the same, or has it changed over the years?
I'd say it's about the same, and I mean it's Tiger Woods, right? I mean he has without a doubt been the biggest source of inspiration, not only to me, but I'd say to every golfer in my generation. I mean, he would be the hero, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's changed at least my perception of what's possible as a golfer and as an athlete. I mean, he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, athlete of all time, in my opinion. So growing up watching him work, his magic, and all that he did. I mean, it's had a critical effect on my work ethic today, no doubt. And another hero would be Henrik Stenson, for sure, national hero, major winner. Again, proving that it's possible coming from a small nation without any good weather whatsoever. So it's cool to to see what he has done as well. So those two would be the biggest heroes of mine.
That's good. I think it's funny how back in my day, my hero was Jack Nicklaus. He's been around forever, but man, Tiger Woods just took everything up to another notch, but it's incredible. And I like Henrik. I like watching him play. So he's a pretty good golfer, man.
The Iceman. Yeah, he signed my visa petition. I wouldn't be in the United States without him. So.
Wow, that's cool.
It was Jack Nicklaus, I believe, who said when he was asked about it, he said, and probably he's said it many times, but he said the game of golf is 90% mental and 10% physical. That's how tough the game really is, right? Dave, do you have a question about that?
No, I mean, that's a good, what do you think of what he said there? 90% mental, 10% physical. Now you're a professional golfer. What do you think?
Yeah. I've come across this quote before, and I gotta be honest with you guys. I disagree a little with Mr. Nicklaus here. I mean, absolutely, sure. You still need to be able to handle pressure and not let your mind get in your own way. No doubt about it. I mean, we have shots that are worth thousands of dollars on the line. There's a lot at stake, but today we have all this technology telling us what exactly happens in our swings and why the ball goes where it does. Hence, we're able to figure out what goes wrong and why to a level and to an extent the generations before us could not, such as Jack's generation.
Yeah.
And therefore, we're able to correct our mistakes quicker. And I think people my generation now, we realize that the white little ball there on the ground actually has no idea what we're thinking, feeling, or even what we're telling ourselves, right?
Right.
All the golf ball cares about really are angles in which the club head and the club face travels right before and to impact. That's all the ball cares about. And even to add to that, I mean, the sport is so much more athletic and physical now than it's ever been before. I mean, physicality today is much more valued over how straight you can hit a golf ball, for example. And so the physicality percentage definitely needs to be more than 10%. So that's my opinion on it.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I want to say something because I look at like Bryson DeChambeau and some of those guys that have beefed up so much. For them to swing as hard as they do, you better have some kind of physicality to you because your back's not going to last very long with that.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, injury prevention and I mean, even getting explosive enough to where you can handle swing speeds like that. I mean, it's critical. It's important.
So where does the mental aspect come in at? I mean, is it just you got to play a lot and then, make sure you're thinking through your shots? Is that where the mental part is, or is it playing under the pressure more?
I think handling pressure and nerves really comes with experience. In my case, for example, I don't actually ever feel nervous, anxious, or scared when I play golf. I mean, to me, it's all about hitting the next shot as good as possible. And I'm just comfortable, I guess, in my own skin. Now, that might not apply to everybody, but I guess I am able to look at it from a bigger picture. I mean, it's just golf. It's a golf shot. If it goes in the water, if it goes out of bounds, it does. I'll prove them that I'm better on the next shot or the next hole, So you got to take everything with a grain of salt, right? And so when you start to realize that, and that it's not, life or death, then I think people are able to take a step back and relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the mental part's just more for us duffers.
Possibly.
Well, if being a professional golfer was easy, I mean, everybody'd be doing it, right? But obviously not everybody's doing it, so it must be tough. Could you maybe just talk about some of the obstacles you faced in your journey? And did you ever just want to quit?
I want to say yes, but no, there was never a moment where I just wanted to like not quit. I think quit is the wrong word. Has there been moments where I've been broken down in tears, not wanted to play golf? Yeah. I mean, in those moments, but it's never been a moment where I'm like, okay, it's time to quit golf.
Okay. And what are some of those obstacles that broke you down like that?
So my family was never very wealthy, for example, and it's an expensive sport. I mean, traveling, entry fees. It has really limited my chances to play. Because if I was, or my family, for example, or I had a sponsor that wanted to give me all the money, then all of a sudden I could play wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, in any tournament that I wanted. And so money has always kind of been an obstacle there for me, a hurdle that I've always had to come over, and it's still, even to this day, an obstacle for sure. And I mean, there's been times where it's hard to find your game over a long period of time. It's very easy to lose faith in yourself, think that you're not good enough. And so stuff like that can break you down. And even injuries, I've had back injuries and neck injuries, knee injuries. Fortunately, not any career-ending stuff, only, stuff that set me back in my timeline or kept me out of golf for a few months here and there. Breakups. I've recently gone through a breakup, a 5-year relationship that was very serious, ended here a couple months ago. So, that left me emotionally scarred.
Sure.
And I probably will be for a while. And so there's always going to be obstacles. You can always find obstacles.
Sure.
But I mean, it's what you do with it, and where you allocate your focus. And so right now, to move around, the money situation and my emotions about the breakup, or my back is hurting a little bit right now, so injuries. My coping is just to go to practice, stay focused. I have a plan. I know exactly what I'm doing every single day, and I need to stay on the schedule. And yeah, I mean, you just gotta stick to the process. I mean, everything. I have a plan. I need to follow it, stick to it, and hopefully, I'll see myself on top of this mountain in the end.
Dave asked you the question. I'm trying to think how you put it, Dave, but it's the question like, you ever feel like not just quitting, but you feel, like that breaking down moment that you say you have. Golf has to be a game of concentration, but you also have to learn how to control those feelings as you're chasing after your dream, as you're working on your game. And that's something that, it takes time, right?
Yeah. And I mean, again, I'm better now than I was last year, and I was better last year than I was 5 years ago. And so it's, I mean, it's a constant learning process. I don't know how else to put it. And I mean, I guess the people that does not learn from previous mistakes, or try to become better, and that doesn't apply only to golf, it applies to life. I mean, that person will end up being very stagnant, right? And so I have this drive that to be better, to become better. If there's something if it's something that I don't know, I'll learn it. I'm always open, and I have I have this fire in my soul to just always become better in golf and off the course. So again, that's just something. I guess that's my personal key to success.
That's good because, I remember what you said, Dave. You said if it was so easy, everybody would be doing it. But, the reality is, and when I think about that, Linus, is we all can learn from that, just like you said, because if we expect chasing after a dream or going after something is going to be easy and without obstacles and without all stress and all that, we're just fooling ourselves.
Yeah, and I mean, how many cliches there are out there, such as believe in yourself, work hard, never give up.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work like that. I mean, at least it doesn't for me.
So you struggle with, finances at times. And so what kind of support do you have today? And do you have, I see you wearing a Titleist hat. You have support from Titleist. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I have an equipment deal with Titleist. So I'm playing their clubs. I've been with Titleist ever since college, really, and through my 3-year-long professional golf career. I have a clothing brand that I'm representing. It's called Black Whale Apparel. Other than that, I haven't really found the big fish, the money sponsor yet. So me and my agents are always on the outlook for that person or entity. Again, 2020 has been hard.
Yeah,
it's not easy. So yeah, we're doing what we can though.
Good.
You shared several of the obstacles, and that's good. We wanted to hear that, but let's kind of switch to the positive side now. What are some of the rewarding experiences that you've had, not just on the golf course, but off the course as well?
Good question. The first thing that comes to mind and that gives me probably the greatest joy in life is to help someone else or help others. So today, for example, there's an older gentleman that I met on the range a couple weeks back, and he asked me if I wanted to go out and play golf with him sometime and give him a few pointers. And absolutely, that's a no-brainer to me. And so we met up and played some golf this morning. And we play a few holes. I watch his swings, and he struggled with this over the top swing, massive slice. And I didn't change his swing. I just told him what produces what type of swing produces a slice, and what kind of swing would produce more of a straighter or maybe even a drawing golf shot. This man has never seen a draw or hit a draw in his life. And I explained to him why or how the ball flight laws work, in a sense. And it immediately clicked in his head. And he started to swing a little more from the inside and out. And he started to hit draws with his driver. He gained, 30, 35 yards with his driver. And I have never seen such a jaw drop in my life. He didn't even know he could do that. And so on one tee box, I think hole 6 or 7 maybe, he hits his first high draw straight down the center of the fairway. And he turns around and looks at me and was like, just a big jaw drop. And that to me is, some of the greatest joys I can ever accomplish, just to help someone else experience happiness like that. I mean, it sounds a little silly. It's just a golf shot, right? But
sounds great.
But that to me is some of the greatest joy, to share my knowledge and help someone else. It can't get much better than that.
That's great.
Dave, Linus, Dave asked me to go out and help him with his golf swing. And so I had this big notebook, and the first thing, we went 3 holes. I didn't say anything like you, and then I finally said, it might help you if you hold the golf club on the other end. And so he started to hit the ball a little bit better then. So
Dave,
good.
Dave calls himself a duffer. If Dave's a huff, if Dave is a duffer, I'm a hack. And I feel kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the old Bing Crosby movie Going My Way with Barry Fitzgerald, and they take, he plays the old Catholic priest, and they take him out golfing, and they say, "Oh, you've done this many times." He says, "No, it's the first time I had a caddy in my hand."
Hey, Linus, that is a good movie. You got to watch that sometime.
I need to get on that. Yes, sir.
So, apart from golf, what are some other things that you like to do that is fulfilling to you? And maybe it, you talked about helping people, but what are some other fun things that you like to do that's, kind of fulfilling, satisfying?
Yeah. So I play a lot of music. I play the guitar. I play the piano. I can't sing, unfortunately, but I'm still big into music. I played a lot of paddle tennis. Now, paddle tennis is a fairly new sport developed in Spain, but it's essentially like tennis. You have a net. You play 2-on-2. It's a tennis ball, but the racket is a little smaller, and you're actually glassed in, and the ball can bounce off the walls, and it makes it for a little more imagination, and the ball is alive for longer than regular tennis, and it's, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. You guys would you'd start a new career if you start to play paddle tennis.
Do they have courts down there?
There's some in Florida, yeah.
Okay.
I said, Dave, we'll have to play that together, you and I.
Yes, and then we'll call 911 after we're done with the first game.
But I mean, it sounds COVID friendly with the glassed in thing and everything. So.
Absolutely.
That's good.
So, Linus, what else? I play a little bit of video games to get my mind off, to relax. That's about it.
Well, Linus, tell me, because I'm curious, a professional golfer, what does a typical week look like for you? I mean, what is it, work all week long? What do you do? What does a day or a week look like for you?
Yeah. So it would depend. So I have tournament weeks and I have non-tournament weeks. And so I can walk you through both real quick. But a typical day when it's not tournament time alarm goes off as 4:30 every single morning. It takes me about 30 minutes to get ready and get up going and go to the gym. I always do a workout at 5 a.m. Now the workouts range from mobility, stability stuff to heavy weights and explosive workouts. So it depends on what I have going that particular morning. I'm at the course by sunrise. I practice and work on my techniques in the mornings. Usually do a quick lunch break around noon. And then I usually play in the afternoons. And then another gym session awaits after dark. And again, it depends on the week and what I have, what the schedule says, what I do in the gym. But it can be anything, again, from stability, mobility, stretching to heavy weights.
Okay.
So about 2 to 3 hours in the gym, about 6 to 8 hours golf.
Wow. And that's during a non-tournament week.
That's during a non-tournament week. Now, in a tournament week, it looks a little bit different. A few days before a tournament week, I go off the heavy weights and we do same workouts, lighter weights, and move a little faster just to become a little more explosive for the particular event. Sometimes I get to sleep in a little bit during tournament days so that I get my exact 7 to 8 hours. so that the body is rested, ready to go. My meal schedule looks about the same all the time, regardless if it's a on week or off week, so to say. And practice goes down just a little bit in a tournament week. The focus on play and performing becomes prioritized, whereas in a practice week, if we can call it that, my performance focus isn't necessarily number one priority, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had a dream, like so many other golfers like myself, of playing in a PGA tournament. However, my dream always ends up with my wife hitting me over the head with a pillow and saying, "Get up," you know. Anyway, I just, you know, I've been to golf tournaments, pro tournaments. I've been to pro-ams and all kinds of stuff. I just love the atmosphere, you know, and COVID's kind of, you know, taking the fan out. But I would really love for you to kind of describe to us what it was like for you to go to your first PGA Tour event. And, you know, take us through, you know, since most of us can't do that, you have, what's that like?
Mm-hmm. So I haven't played a PGA Tour event just yet, but I have made a couple of European Tour starts, which would be the equivalents to PGA Tour, but in Europe. So my first European Tour start was in the summer of 2018. And let's rewind here a little bit. I remember all of a sudden I was in a new stage, right? Everything was a little bigger. I remember I was very excited and eager to showcase my abilities. All of a sudden I was on live TV. I don't get to play on live TV every day. So much more eager to play than a normal event, so to say. It was cool, you know, all the extra tension. But to be completely honest with you guys, I guess it wasn't the atmosphere, you know, just the reality that it was a European Tour event. I mean, that wasn't anything that altered my game time, mind, or my performance at all. I was 100% mentally present and ready for combat. It's just more fun to play with thousands of people around you. I mean, it makes it more fun. To me, it doesn't add on pressure or anything. It's just more fun, more people I can, you know, again, showcase my abilities to. So, and hopefully the European Tour or PGA Tour will be my new normal, so to say, very soon. So.
Well, what's the Latino American PGA Tour? What is that? Is that still not a sanctioned PGA tournament, or it's a
PGA sanctioned tour? Yes, so it's called PGA Tour Latino America. So think of it as baseball, where PGA Tour would be the majors, and then you have Korn Ferry would be the equivalent to AAA. And then you have PGA Tour Latino America would be considered probably AA. That would be the best analogy I can give you.
Okay. All right. That's pretty. So you have what, 15 tournaments basically in that level of play in a year?
Yeah, typically. Yes.
And what's it take you to go to the next level then? Where are you at with that?
So in order to move up to Korn Ferry or AAA, if you will, we have to finish top 5 on the order of merit. Now, order of merit is the entire season together, all tournaments combined over the course of the season. We have to finish top 5, and that's how you move up to the next level.
So you need a strong next 8 tournaments then, don't you?
If I can get a couple wins and another few made cuts, I should find myself in the top 5 for sure, which is very possible.
We'll be rooting for you.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Great.
Well, Dave and I are pastors, and we understand that failure doesn't have to be final. We realize that failures shouldn't be wasted. God uses our failure to teach us and to give us opportunities to learn from our failures and to move on. So I'm headed somewhere with this. With that thought in mind, what lessons can you or do you learn from missing the cut?
And not saying that that's failure, right? But I mean, it might, to some people, you might look at that as failure.
No, absolutely. So it's tough, right? I mean, I missed a million cuts by a single stroke even, and I've lost in playoffs. I've certainly experienced close to all the downfalls there are in golf. I have failed 100 million times. And I'm not gonna lie, it's tough in the moment that it happens. I mean, I've shed tears over my golf abilities, no doubt. But at the same time, I've also made way many more cuts than what I've missed. I won playoffs. I know that I can beat almost any field in this sport. I can beat anyone in this sport. And I've learned, I mean, realizing that, I guess I've learned not to beat myself up mentally anymore, but to focus on what went wrong and why, so I can correct the mistake or mistakes and become better, for the next time. So.
Good.
That's kind of good. I mean, that's some good info, because I see you saying that your mindset has to be not focusing on just the bad, but when you realize, man, I've done a lot of good, I've made a lot of progress, I can win. And that's I think a key of chasing the dream, isn't it?
It's all about perspective, right? And if you can put, downfalls in perspective and realize how good you actually are, and then maybe go into detail, why did I hit in the water here? Or why did I 3-putt here? Really break it down and understand the why, because if you understand the why, then you all of a sudden you gain the power to change it.
Yeah, that's good. So eight more tournaments is what you're saying that they're trying to get in 2021, right?
Correct, but there's no schedule yet.
Yeah, because COVID's still an uncertainty, right? When you can't travel out of the nation and all that. So I guess you just keep playing golf, right? You just keep doing what you've been doing all along, and you wait until you get that call for the schedule.
Correct. And PGA Tour and Korn Ferry Tour have their schedules out, so they're playing right now. And so there will be opportunities to Monday qualify, so to say, into Korn Ferry Tour and PGA Tour. And that's usually a fast way in on the bigger tours. So I'm going to try my luck there. There are also multiple mini tours around the states that I'll try to get into and play. So there are spots and opportunities to play.
Do you have a caddy at all, or do you just carry the bag yourself? How does that work?
Historically, I have had friends come with me to caddy. I have had professional caddies, that have helped me out on individual events. I do not have the purse to hire my own caddy at this time for a longer period of time. But as soon as I reach, the Korn Ferry Tour or PGA Tour or European Tour, then all of a sudden it would be changed, and I would probably hire a caddy for that.
So if I told you I'd work for you for free, would you hire me then, or never mind?
Yes, you can come down here as soon as possible.
Perhaps there's somebody out there who's listening who has their own dream. It may not have anything to do with golf. It may have everything to do with golf, but they have their own dream that they're going after. What can you tell them? Any words of wisdom that you can maybe give somebody who's chasing a dream?
Words of wisdom. Let's rewind back a little bit to the cliches we talked about. You know, the believe in yourself, the work hard, the never give up. I mean, sure. I mean, but everybody does that.
Yeah.
And it never really, coaches always told me that, but it never clicked to me, and at least it didn't for me. But what I can tell you though is some of the reality, and that is that it will suck. You will feel bad and not motivated way many more times than you will feel good and motivated to do stuff. When I say stuff, you know, I'm talking about the early workouts, the practices, like cooking a healthy meal. You have to be willing to sacrifice relationships, money, and a whole lot of energy to do this. It's not going to be fun, but if you're willing to risk it, and put in the right work, and you're able to make it, I mean, the satisfaction and feel of accomplishment will be totally unmatched. That's at least what I'm telling myself before I go to bed. So,
Dave, do you remember what you said right before we brought Linus on? You said, chasing after the dream, are you willing to pay the price?
Yeah, there's a price involved. Yep. I thought about that when you were sharing that, Linus.
Yep. So, so yeah, and that's not meant to scare anyone. It's just that's the reality. You need to be aware of it. And I mean, I'm not going to stick it on the table or hide it. But it builds character. I mean, golf has taken me around the entire world. I've met some really cool people, you guys included. Seen a lot of beautiful places. Been introduced to a lot of new cultures, foods. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, Dave, there's hope for you because I know that you've had a lifelong dream of ministering to truck stop waitresses. So I know that
Flow and all of them. That's right. You know, we were sharing bucket lists. Okay, maybe this is good intro here. Maybe a bucket list. You know, one of my bucket lists is going to the Masters to watch and taking, you know, some friends to go watch it. Do you have any bucket lists at all that, you know, besides golf? You have any bucket lists for you at your age?
So bucket list stuff right now or for a distant future?
Stuff you want to do before you die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have it. I want to be married, a couple of kids, maybe a couple of dogs, a couple of houses, one here in Florida, somewhere in the mountains, maybe. You know, that's really the end goal as well. Not only to be the greatest at this or win the Masters or the Open, but you know, a win in life is to have what you guys have as well. So at least to me.
Wow. Dave, we're living the dream, man.
Living the dream, except I don't have those two houses though.
No.
Yet. You don't have them yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's true. That is true. Hey, Linus, before we close out, I want to give you an opportunity to plug your brand, maybe some social media sites, whatever else that you might want to promote. Do you have anything going in those areas?
Yeah, I am very active on Instagram, and my name there is Linus Lilliedahl. Now that's a tricky spelling, but I'm sure if you try to Google it, it'll come up. Hopefully, I have a little Facebook page and a YouTube channel and a TikTok handle as well. So I'm kind of all over the place, updating frequently what I do, how I feel, how everything went, and even some of the workout stuff I do. So please go and give me a follow.
You don't have any swag yet, do you?
Swag?
Yeah. Any clothing or whatever? Am I using the right word or not, Dave? Is that the right word, Linus? Clothing, promotional items like, you know, hats, stuff like that.
Yeah, you'll actually find all of that on my Instagram if you go on there. Again, I have my clothing brand here. black quail, and so I do have a code that one can use to receive a little love at checkout if you ever want to shop some golf clothes from black quail. So.
And where do we find that code at?
In my Instagram posts.
Okay, awesome. You remember you're talking to two 54-year-old guys here, so we need help with some of this stuff.
Now, I want that people can find your Instagram. Linus is spelled like Linus, Linus, and spell Lilliedahl for us.
Lilliedahl.
All right, wonderful. Well, Linus, we want to thank you for joining us today. We wish the best for you, and we'll even pray that God would help you every step of the way.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for giving me the opportunity to share my story on here, and I hope to see you guys soon.
You bet.
Linus, thanks. I look forward to playing golf with you again soon. We'll see you.
See ya.
Well, as always, if you've enjoyed this podcast, and even if you didn't, it's not because of Linus. I enjoyed Linus because of probably me or Dave, whatever. But we'd ask you to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends.
And time, always remember that 2 Daves are always better than one. This has been the 2 Daves podcast, and we are out of here.